Now, extending further with our early morning news, we are joined by a special guest in studio today. Now, Seth Van Beek became not only Zimbabwe's youngest pilot at a very tender age of 18, but also UK's youngest commercial qualified pilot. And all this happened after his mom sold the family home to help fund his dreams. He got his license to fly passenger airlines after he completed 18 months of training and clocked up to 150 hours in the air before he passed with flying colors. Seth, good morning and welcome to Good Morning Zimbabwe.
Good morning to you, Curtly. I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much for having me on.
Quite a tremendous and exciting story all the same to hear about how this pilot journey ended up taking course. Now, please take us through that.
Well, it was a very challenging 18 months in which I completed my flight training. I was in a foreign country. I left Bulawayo after completing my GCSE O-levels and went to Greece. Now, I'm sure you can imagine moving to a foreign land, foreign country and foreign cultures. It was a massive adjustment of learning how to do a lot of stuff. A particularly difficult one was learning how to cook, I had never cooked for myself before at 16 years old. So it was a massive adjustment as well, being faced with different challenges of dealing with being away from home and from time to time being looked down upon simply because of my age.
Okay.
And I graduated at the end of 2019 with an average of over 90% in my theory across 14 subjects and all first-time passes on my flight examinations. I was then headhunted by one of the largest airlines in the UK prior to the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit. So I've now gone into the corporate sector of aviation where I'm flying private jets.
Brilliant, brilliant. Acknowledging that, knowing that this journey had its way of. How would you say the pandemic has affected the whole flying course and perhaps even the industry as a whole?
Well, it was a massive hit to the industry, the pandemic. There was thousands of jobs lost. At one point, there was over 90,000 unemployed pilots.
Yes.
Now, that's a massive number. And I'm sure you can imagine that's 90,000 homes which have had a massive change to them, of which a dad is no more able to supply food, is no more able to provide school fees for their children. So it was a massive hit, but slowly and surely the skies are beginning to get busy again. You're hearing more chat on the frequencies in the sky. You're seeing more aircraft. So it's looking positive, and specialists are saying that within the next 12 months, it could be looking at the pre-COVID levels.
Sure. And speaking of parents, you were speaking about parents earlier on, being raised by a single parent, you believe that made you stronger. What sort of inspiration did you derive from that?
Well, being raised by a single mum was a massive thing for me, that I've always strived to give my mum a better life. And so when things got difficult for me, it was more of, I'm not doing this for myself, I'm doing this for my mum, to give my mum a better life, to help retire my mum before it's time for her to retire. And that's the one thing that inspires me to work long shifts, to work long days, to be away from home for extended periods and keep on pushing in order to reach the best level and reach the highest standards. But also another thing for me is being raised in Zimbabwe is that I saw a lot of poverty and I saw a lot of people struggling. Now my vision is that one day I would like to start a scholarship program in Zimbabwe in order to allow the underprivileged people to train to become corporate pilots or commercial pilots, and then place them into airlines to help them achieve their dreams of becoming a pilot.
Absolutely. And being a pilot has been part of your DNA. From that story, I can tell that you seem quite excited about the subject matter today. You have achieved just exactly that, and we would like to believe you've reached your actualization. How does that make you feel?
It's a great feeling, but as I said, I don't do this for myself and for stripes on my shoulders. I do it for the people who aren't able to do it. I do it to empower and inspire the youth of future generations that because we're from Zimbabwe, it doesn't mean that we're counted down or we're not able to make it in life. It's only a reason why we're able to push more and achieve those higher heights. If we look at it, we have Mr. Strive Masiwa, who's made a massive impact and made multiple millions and billions of dollars. Now, it's able to be done, and because we're from Zimbabwe, it doesn't mean that we should be counted out. And I personally believe that some of the greatest pilots in the world will come from Zimbabwe.
Absolutely. Now, Seth, you're born and raised in Harare, Zimbabwe?
Bulawayo. Yes.
In Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. And what would you say to the community back home, and how best can you inspire them, even those here in Harare?
Well, the one thing I'd say is that there's a quote that I live by: impact over income.
Yes.
The greater the impact, the more you'll be known, and the income will always follow. So I always tell people, never be worried about your funds or the money. Always worry about impacting lives and helping people. And I'm a Christian. I believe in seed time and harvest time.
Sure.
Every person that you help is a seed sown into the ground.
Absolutely.
But another thing I'd always encourage people is that even if you're not making it academically in school, you can always push harder. There's a variety of jobs that you're able to do out there that you don't have to be the most intelligent person in the world.
Absolutely.
And there's a quote that I recently heard that if the rules of the game aren't working for you, just change the game.
Powerful, powerful. I like that. I'm going to write that down. Now, on a lighter note, Seth, you're 20 years old. Do you have a social life?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so what do you do in your spare time?
Well, it depends on the day, what I'm doing. Usually, it's if I'm at home in London, I'll take my family out for dinner, go out for lunch with my mum. Or there's times when I'm extremely tired from work, so it's just resting. Or I'll go out and meet my friends in central London. But now that I'm here in Zimbabwe, I'm here for a good time to enjoy being home in the motherland, seeing my friends, and just being at home, enjoying the sun, enjoying the amazing Zimbabwean food.
Acknowledging the fact that you love the food, which is an absolute honor to hear. We do understand you are being honored today. Please tell us more about that.
Yes, I was nominated for the Junior Chamber International 10 Outstanding Young Persons Award, of which I won it for the academic excellence. So today at 1400, I'll be at Celebration Center,
yes,
receiving awards for the J.C.I.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that. That was actually the reason of my travel to Zimbabwe specifically for this event.
Brilliant, brilliant. And we do acknowledge the J.C.I. We had the president of the J.C.I. just last week talking about these particular awards, and it's good to have one of the honorees here today on our Good Morning Zimbabwe. We have just been joined by Seth, and Seth, we do wish you all the best in your endeavors.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much to Seth, the youngest commercial pilot based in the UK, but a very, very proud Zimbabwean from Bulawayo. And we do now extend further with our early morning news.